Let's talk about Stephen A. Smith real quick, man, because he's always in the news, right? But for a very different reason this time. The reason Stephen A. Smith is trending right now and in the middle of a backlash is because it's been announced, I want to say 2-3 days ago, that he was to host his first basketball camp ever and that he was charging $3,000 for attendance. And when I saw the news initially, I was like, man, this is crazy. $3,000 basketball camp, Stephen A. Smith, I ain't going. Oh, I wouldn't send my kid. But that was all. I kept it moving, right? But what was interesting is the wave of hate that man caught over this basketball camp. I was like, man, this is crazy. The hate got so wild that he actually caught wind of the backlash or the negativity out there around his name, and he took to his podcast as expected and responded. So before we play the clip and give our take, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.
I'm not having it. I'm going to repeat myself again. I'm not taking a dime. Any money that I get, when I give speeches to corporate 500 companies and hedge funds and universities that have 7-figure budgets for speeches and they pay everybody else, sure. For something for the kids, I've never done that. Never. And I'll get into all of that for a second, because the first thing I want to say to some of you idiots, not all, not most, but some of y'all some damn idiots. I mean, y'all give new definition to fools. Just ignorant asses. Fact of the matter is, I'm not going to call you a fool because I think you're ignorant ass on purpose. You do it on purpose. And I know my team is going, oh, Stephen A., calm down. Stephen, bump that. Hell no. I'm listening to folks, and particularly people in the media, got the nerve to question and throw shade on my name. Let's get the basketball stuff out of the way.
All right, so you heard what the man had to say. And I got to say, this one is kind of weird for me because if you hate on Stephen A. Smith for his basketball takes or his sports takes overall, have at it. I'm never going to defend him for his takes because some of them definitely are wild. If you're going to hate on him for, the way he covers certain athletes like Kyrie Irving or Kawhi or even KD in the past, again, have at it. Or Russell Westbrook, for example, if you take to his podcast, the Same Show episode, he was reacting to a quote that Kyrie posted on Instagram about how Russell Westbrook, he impacted and influenced a lot of people. And Stephen A. Smith thought that it was a good idea to go on his podcast and be like, all right, I can't go all the way with Kyrie Irving because Westbrook is not a champion. So, just don't hate for no reason. If you want to hate on Stephen A. Smith for doing stuff like that, have at it. But for this one, I got to say, this one is kind of, I can't go there with y'all or with the world, I guess. First of all, the news weren't reported right. If you go to the IMG Academy website, the statement that they say is the IMG Academy basketball camp featuring Stephen A. Smith will take place at IMG Academy's 600-acre campus. Pricing for the camp begins at $2,899. I really want to put the emphasis on the fact that he is featured, meaning it's not his camp, it's not his price either. So we don't know that he's actually taking this $3,000. We don't even know if he's getting the cut at all. They just named the camp after him because they thought that, he would have a perspective or his name would bring people to the camp. That's what they did. But this is not his basketball camp. It's a partner. And even if that actually was his price, what's the problem? Like the fact that people they do not have to go. If you think that's too much, just don't send your kids over there. It's way, way more basketball camps out there, way cheaper. But why would you actually take issue with the fact that he has the quote-unquote audacity to charge people a lot of money for a basketball camp? I don't get that. It's just like, for example, if I look at basketball players who go out there and sign these super max deals knowing good and damn well they're not worth all that money, what's the problem? If someone who's willing to give them that money, then that's their business. Same stuff with this. If someone was willing to be like, all right, man, I'm sending my kid to the Stephen A. Smith camp for $3,000 because he's going to learn a lot from Stephen A. Smith, and that's his business. You don't have to go. And if it's too expensive and people do not show up, then that'll humble him or the people that surrounded the camp, and they'll know that, all right, man, Stephen A. Smith is not that much of a catch. But that's not an issue. The fact that people were out there questioning his whole persona over this is kind of wild. Like they had the man, I'm not playing this from the podcast, but he actually had to pull out a sheet with all of the money that he put into HBCU's podcast. I was like, man, this is crazy. Just because he's been featured on a basketball camp. So what that really shows me is that the world is like at an apex time of hate for Stephen A. Smith, which is interesting. I don't really have a take about the fact that people, whether it should be hated or liked, and that I don't care. It's just the fact that it might be soon over for him. You know, like people are really starting to be like, yeah, man, let's get this man up out of here. And that's interesting. Maybe it comes just with the territory, you know, you've been on top, just like he loves to remind us every time. I'm sick and tired of him telling us how long he's been number one. But I guess people, you know, they want to take the crown away from him. Maybe that's all that is. Or people are just like, man, the way he's loud, the way he covers certain stuff, his arrogance, we just cannot take it anymore, and we need Stephen A. out the way. So I'm really interested, and I can't wait. Maybe this is also linked to, you know, the downfall of ESPN's ratings or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, give me your thoughts about this whole thing. Do you think Stephen A is out of pocket for this one? Do you think it was done wrong? Do you stand with the people? Do you agree with me on that? Just tell me anything. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later. Appreciate you for checking me out. Peace.